very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a warm welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where popular answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. Well, now, first we welcome Scott and Kerry. You're our first pair on the show. How do you two know each other?
We met on a motorcycle site on the internet. We'd spoken before online, but we first met at a fancy dress party.
What were you dressed as, Kerry?
Army girl.
An army girl?
Yes.
Any particular army girl?
No, just a general army girl.
A general? A general army girl.
I have to say, Kerry, it's literally the worst camouflage I have ever seen.
I didn't have this colour hair then.
What are your specialist areas? I mean, motorcycles, clearly.
Yes.
So,
for me, films.
Films. What kinds of films?
All sorts of films.
All sorts of films.
Yes.
Kerry?
Probably television or vampires.
Excellent. Well, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's brilliant to have you here. OK, and next we welcome Kate and Jim. You're our second pair on the show today. How do you two know each other?
We met about 30 years ago, just very briefly, and then didn't see each other for about 5 years, and then met again about 25 years ago.
And then said goodbye, and then met again about 2 days after that, and then...
No, he kind of hung around, and and we married 3 years ago.
Wow, this sounds more of a tale of persistence than romance by the sound of things. But, Jim, I'm sure she's painting a very unfavourable picture. He hung
Absolutely. She married me for my money, actually.
See, that might be true. Very best luck to the pair of you. It's great to have you on the show. Next, we welcome back John and Roger. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your second chance. Remind us how you did.
We got to the head-to-head, which was a great surprise.
Yes, it was a tough head-to-head, that one.
All to do with porn.
Ultimately, to do with chess pieces, Roger. Chess pieces.
And we failed.
You were beaten by porn. Beaten by porn. John, what do you hope is going to come up this afternoon?
We've not had any sport yet, have we? So...
We haven't, no sport yet, so that could easily be coming. Roger, how about you?
I'd like sport, but I'd also like the human body.
Flawed. Absolutely flawed. I have no comeback to that. Very best of luck. And finally, we've got Orla and Bex. How do you two know each other?
Well, we've been confused as sisters on a number of occasions.
You're not sisters?
We're not sisters, no. We're friends.
I've just done it again. I have now added... I joined the list of people who confused you as sisters. You're just friends?
We are just friends, yeah. We met originally through our boyfriends who lived together, and now we live together.
Orla, what do you do?
I work in marketing, more specifically on music festivals, mostly.
Probably the most fun marketing there is to work
Perhaps,
on.
Yes.
Do you spend much time on site?
I do. My summers are completely filled with festivals.
Fantastic. But, of course, everyone imagines you're having a whale of a time when actually you're working
That's the problem, and missing out on all kinds of fun that's going on over the summer.
And Bex, what about you? What do you do?
I am primarily a food writer, but I'm also a plus-size model too.
Very exciting indeed. But a food writer, do you write freelance?
Yes.
Are you one of those people who goes to restaurants and has to take photographs of everything they eat? Fantastic. Do you do a food blog?
I do.
Do you do a food blog?
Oh, occasionally, if I've had a bad curry or something.
Yeah. Whose idea was it to come on the show, Bex?
Both of ours, really.
Oh, good. Very good. So neither one of you. No blame. Well, we will find out more about all of you throughout the show. There's only one person left for me to introduce. In the land of obscurity, he's the king of all he surveys. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Should be a great show today. We've only got one returning pair, but they did rather well last time, John and Roger. A very, very strong pair. And, of course, our big jackpot still remains. So, biggest jackpot ever on Pointless.
Terrifying sum of money. We now have armed guards around the back of the studio to guard that sort of money. OK, well, we put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is Pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. Of course, what everyone's trying to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave. And each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, as Richard says, nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £14,750. Right, let's play Pointless. Now, in the first round, each of you must give me one answer, and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. OK, our first category this afternoon is celebrities. Celebrities. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many famous foodies as they could. Famous foodies. Richard?
Yeah, the correct answers in this round will all be celebrity chefs or cooks who have appeared on television either in their own show or in food-related programmes.
OK, thank you very much. Now then, Scott and Kerry, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. In this round, you'll be relieved to hear, we're going to give you a choice of 7 possible answers in each pass. Phew. The first set of 7 answers reads like this. Here we go. We have Simon Rimmer, Ainsley Harriott, William Taft, Antonio Carluccio, Jamie Oliver, Andrew Nutter, James Martin. I'll read those names one more time. Simon Rimmer, Ainsley Harriott, William Taft, Antonio Carluccio, Jamie Oliver, Andrew Nutter, James Martin. I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless. Be very careful, though, because there is also at least one incorrect answer on that board. And if you pick one of those, you will score the maximum of 100 points. Now then, Kerry, do you watch a lot of food programmes on telly?
Some.
Do you watch enough to recognise all the names behind me?
I think I recognise 4, maybe 5. I'm not sure it's his surname, but I'm going to risk it anyway. Simon Rimmer?
Simon Rimmer. Is that a correct answer? And if it is, let's see how many people said it. Good luck, Kerry. It's right. Very well done. Simon Rimmer is right. And it's going a long way down. Very well done. Look at that. Well done, Kerry. Fabulous. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £15,000. It scores you absolutely nothing. Very well done, Kerry. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Kerry. What a start. Probably most famous, he's the resident cook on Something for the Weekend. OK, Kate. Yes. I said there was at least one pointless answer on that board. There might very, very easily be another.
Right.
How familiar are you with the world of celebrity cooks?
Not very, but I'm happy with 4 of those celebrity foodies. And I'm going to choose Antonio Carluccio.
Antonio Carluccio. OK, well, let's see if that's a correct answer. And if it is, let's see how many people said Antonio Carluccio. Yes, of course, that's right. Down it comes. 1. That's a great score, Kate. Very well done, you. Antonio Carluccio, just 1 point, Richard. Yeah, well played, Kate. First came to the UK in 1975, Antonio Carluccio, as a wine merchant. Very well done, Kate. Roger, we are looking for famous foodies. Do you watch food on telly? Do you watch people making food on telly?
No.
Ah.
But I'll go for my nickname, Andrew Nutter.
You're going to go for Andrew Nutter. Why? Why do people call you Andrew?
Don't know.
How bizarre. OK, well, let's see if it's a correct answer. And if it is, let's see how many people said Andrew Nutter. Good luck, Roger. It's right. It's right. Oh, very well done. Very well done. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, taking the total up to £15,250, and it scores you nothing. Very well done, Roger. Andrew Nutter, Richard. Yeah, what a round. Incredibly low scores, aren't they? It's an unusual surname, isn't it, Nutter? I thought it was a spelling mistake at first, and I said to the researcher, I can't believe it's not butter. But...
But, yeah, and Andrew Nutter, TV chef.
Now then, we come to Bex. I'm afraid slim pickings left for you, Bex.
Yes.
Our bona fide foodie up there.
Well, Ainsley Harriott, obviously, Jamie Oliver and James Martin. Then William Taft is the wrong answer. So, I'll go with James Martin, the most obscure out of the three.
You're hoping to score as few points as possible, but I think that's probably the best you can get out of the selection that was left for you. Let's see if James Martin is right. If it is, let's see how many people said James Martin. It's right. Not bad at all. 10. That's not bad. James Martin scores you 10 points. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Bex. Actually, the best you could have done on that board, given how well everybody else did. James Martin does Saturday Kitchen, amongst many other things. Let's go through the rest of the board. Jamie Oliver, obviously, is a pretty big scorer, but only 69, actually, perhaps lower than you might think. Ainsley Harriott, also, obviously, is a celebrity chef, 31. And William Taft, obviously, is the incorrect answer there. He was the fattest ever president of America.
There we are. OK, well, thanks very much. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Well, my word, not one but two pointless answers. Kerry and Scott and Roger and John on nothing. Then we come up to Kate and Jim on 1, just narrowly ahead. Quite a long way ahead, but still on a wonderfully low score, is Bex. Orla, the pressure is on you. You're going to have to find a really obscure answer on the next pass. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more answers on the board. We are looking for famous foodies, remember? And here we are. We have got Nigel Slater, Nigella Lawson, Arnold Bennett, Gordon Ramsay, Anjum Anand, Buddy Bear, and Delia Smith. I'm going to read those one more time. Nigel Slater, Nigella Lawson, Arnold Bennett, Gordon Ramsay, Anjum Anand, Buddy Bear, and Delia Smith. And again, I can tell you that at least one of those answers is pointless, but at least one of those answers is incorrect, so try and avoid those at all costs. Now then, Orla, the moment of truth. You're on 10 points. You're the high scorers at this stage.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
Well, there are 3 up there that I recognise.
Yeah.
There's one name that I think could potentially be a chef, so I'm going to have to guess with that and go with Anjum Anand.
Oh, so what did you say, Buddy Bear? Anjum Anand. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Anjum Anand. It's right. Very well done. Very well done. Down it comes. Oh, very well done indeed, Orla. That's exactly what it needed to be. That's a pointless answer. It adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £15,500. And best and most importantly of all, it scores you nothing, leaving your total at 10. Well done. Richard?
Yeah, very well played, Orla. That's £750 added in this round alone. She's presented a couple of BBC Two series, Anjum Anand, did Indian Food Made Easy and Healthy Indian Food.
Fantastic. A great answer. Now then, John.
I mean, looking at that, there are some obvious ones. Couple I'm totally not sure of. I'm going to go for Nigel Slater.
You're going to go for Nigel Slater. The high scorers at the moment are Orla and Bex on 10. You have to score 9 or less to avoid overtaking them. There is your red line. Let's see if Nigel Slater can get you down below that red line. But first, obviously, it has to be correct. Let's see if it is. And if it is, let's see how many people said Nigel Slater. That is right. Oh, you're through. 7 points for Nigel Slater. That's a great answer. It leaves you a total of 7. Richard?
Yeah, well done, John. Nigel Slater, food writer and presenter and cook and all-round foodie.
Now then, Jim, Kate did fantastically well with Antonio Carluccio in the first pass. She won you a low total of 1. The high scorers remain Orla and Bex on 10. If you can score 8 or less with this answer, you are through to the next round.
I'm distraught because the only ones I recognise are going to be high scorers. So I'm just going to have to take a big chance and go for Buddy Bear.
I'm so pleased someone's going for Buddy Bear. Kate is less pleased that it's you. Buddy Bear. OK, let's see if it's a correct answer. And if it is, let's see how many people said Buddy Bear. There is your red line. If you get below that red line with Buddy Bear, you are through to the next round. Is it right? And if it is, how many people said it? Buddy Bear. Bad luck. I'm afraid Buddy Bear is an incorrect answer. That scores you the maximum of 100 points, Jim, and takes your total up to an unbeatable 101. Richard.
Sorry, Jim. Worth a risk, though. Buddy Bear's the name of Jamie Oliver's son.
Oh, no.
Buddy Bear Morris Oliver.
Scott.
Yes.
I tell you what, you are through to the next round. You can have as much fun as you like with this, with this board.
The three obvious ones are Nigella Lawson, Gordon Ramsay and Delia Smith. So I'm guessing that Arnold Bennett is probably the other answer, if it's not a wrong answer.
Arnold Bennett. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Arnold Bennett. Bad luck, an incorrect answer, but it doesn't matter. You're through to the next round, come what may. Unfortunately, Arnold Bennett is incorrect, and it scores you the maximum of 100 points, leaving you with a total of 100. Richard.
Yeah, the Arnold Bennett is an omelette you can eat at the Savoy, named after the novelist Arnold Bennett. Let's go through the rest of the board. Gordon Ramsay, far and away the top answer here, actually. His profile is so high, 72 he would have scored. Nigella Lawson, obviously a right answer as well, would have scored you 30. And Delia Smith, surprisingly low, 26 points.
Thanks, Richard. So at the end of round one, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's Kate and Jim. Kate, how long will it take you to forgive Jim?
Some time.
It's been great having you on the show. We'll look forward to having you back next time. Thanks so much for playing. Great contestants. But for the remaining three pairs, it's now time for round two. Now, obviously, only two pairs can make it through to the head-to-head, so one team is going to be leaving us at the end of this round. Try and make sure it's not you. Our category for round two is film. There we are, film. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, our round two question concerns film quotes and their films. Film quotes and their films. In this round, we're about to show you a list of famous lines from films. We asked 100 people to tell us which film each quote most famously comes from. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 quotes on each pass. The more obscure ones are going to score you fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, you'll score 100 points. So there's 12 in all, so see how many of those you can get at home.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, so we are looking for the film that each of these famous quotes most famously comes from. And we have got... If you build it, he will come. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Hang on a minute, lads, I've got a great idea. I'm the king of the world. Here's Johnny. My pupils are the creme de la creme. I'll read those one more time. If you build it, he will come. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Hang on a minute, lads, I've got a great idea. I'm the king of the world. Here's Johnny. My pupils are the creme de la creme. OK, now, Scott.
Yes.
You said you were a film buff.
Yes, I am, yes.
You still happy to stand by that?
Yes.
Very good.
I'm going to go for If You Build It, He Will Come. And the film is Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Very well done. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Field of Dreams. But if you build it, he will come. Very well done, Scott. I have a feeling this will go quite a long way down. There we are, 16. Not bad at all. Not a bad answer. Field of Dreams, Richard.
Yeah, well played, Scott. Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams.
Very good. Field of Dreams, Scott. Not a bad answer at all. Now then, John, we come to you. There are some famous lines on the board behind me. All of them from films. You have to find the most obscure film and get it right.
I think I recognise about 1.5, so... I'm going to go for my pupils are the creme de la creme from the prime of Miss Jean Brodie.
The prime of Miss Jean Brodie, you are saying. Let's see, the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it, John. Well done, John, that's right. Down it goes. 23. 23 for the prime of Miss Jean Brodie. Surprisingly high score.
It is surprisingly high. It's yeah, a very well-known film, isn't it? Maggie Smith, of course, won an Oscar for the role of Miss Jean Brodie herself.
Very good. Now then, Bex. Once again, you have a slightly depleted board to choose from. Talk us through the films that remain. How do you feel about this?
For Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. Titanic for I'm the King of the World, and The Shining for Here's Johnny. So I'm guessing that The Shining is probably the most known. So it's between Titanic and Dirty Dancing. I'm going to go for Dirty Dancing in the hope that the men of those that were asked probably don't know that.
OK, let's see if Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner is right for Dirty Dancing, and let's see how many people knew that answer. Good luck, Bex. It's right. 41 for Dirty Dancing. Richard?
Yeah, biggest score on the board, actually. Voted one of the 100 greatest movie quotes of all time by the American Film Institute. Let's see what the others would have scored you. Here's Johnny wasn't far behind, actually. It's from The Shining, you're absolutely right, but would have scored you 37. Hang on a minute, lads, I've got a great idea. Is
Italian Job. Yeah,
the end of The Italian Job. 26 points. And I'm the King of the World, you're quite right, it's Titanic. And actually, it was 19 points. But Field of Dreams is the best answer on that board, so well done if you got that.
OK, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. On 16, Scott and Kerry. That's a great answer. Then we come up a little bit to 23 for John and Roger. And then a little bit ahead on the high score there, Bex and Orla. Orla, you're going to have the pick of the board, remember, in the next pass. You're going to have to find a really... You did it fantastically last time. You're going to have to do it again. How good's your film knowledge?
Awful. Absolutely awful. Film and TV is not a good topic for me.
OK, good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more famous lines from films on the board, and here we go. We have got... They call me Mr. Tibbs. I'll have what she's having. We're not in Kansas anymore. You can't handle the truth. Made it, Ma. Top of the world. Tomorrow is another day. I will read all of those one more time. They call me Mr. Tibbs. I'll have what she's having. We're not in Kansas anymore. You can't handle the truth. Made it, Ma. Top of the world. Tomorrow is another day. Now, remember, we are looking for the film that each quote comes from, and you all are looking for the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew.
OK, I think I recognise 2 of them. They're probably the ones with the highest answers, but I have no idea for the others, so I'm going to have to go for I'll have what she's having, and I think that's from When Harry Met Sally.
I'll have what she's having from When Harry Met Sally. You are the high scorers on 41, so there's no red line for you to come below. OK, you're saying I'll have what she's having from When Harry Met Sally. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. It's right. 35. That scores you. And that takes your total up to 76. 76.
Yeah, well done, Orla. You may have kept yourself in the round there. From 1989's When Harry Met Sally.
Thanks very much, Richard. Now then, Roger.
Last time I went to see a film was Patton in 1987. So I've really got no idea, but I'm going for a guess. Well, the only one that I can think that may have a glimmer of hope is Made It with Ma, Top of the World, and I think that may come from Clint Eastwood's Any Which Way You Can.
Made It, Ma, Top of the World, Any Which Way You Can, you are saying? Made It, Ma, Top of the World. Well, let's see if that's right. There is your red line. If Any Which Way You Can takes you below that red line, you are through to the head-to-head. Let's see if Any Which Way You Can is right for Made It, Ma, Top of the World. Is it right, and how many people said it, if so? Bad luck, Roger. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. That takes your total up to 123. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Roger, I won't give you the right answer just now, just in case Kerry wants to have a go at that one.
Now then, Kerry, the great news is this. You are through to the head-to-head. You'll never overtake Roger and John's high score of 123.
There's only two I know for sure.
And they are?
Which is, we're not in Kansas anymore, which is obviously Wizard of Oz. But the one I'm going to go for is You Can't Handle the Truth, and that's A Few Good Men.
OK, you are saying A Few Good Men for You Can't Handle the Truth. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said A Few Good Men. Well done. Very well done indeed. 15. Takes you up to 31. So, Richard, You Can't Handle the Truth.
Yeah, You Can't Handle the Truth, spoken very menacingly, of course, by Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. Very good answer. Let's take a look at the rest of the board. We're not in Kansas anymore. You're quite right, Kerry. That's Wizard of Oz. Would have scored 46 points, though. Tomorrow is Another Day is the very last line of Gone with the Wind. That is, would have scored you 19. They Call Me Mr. Tibbs is from In the Heat of the Night. Would have scored you 10. And Made It Ma, Top of the World, is the best answer on the board. Would have scored you 3. Spoken by Jimmy Cagney, but from what film?
White Heat.
White Heat, exactly right. 3 points.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. At the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's John and Roger.
Never mind.
It's such a shame to say goodbye to you. You've been great contestants, but thanks so much for playing. Brilliant. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are going to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very, very well done, Orla and Beck, Scott and Kerry. You've made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for the jackpot, which currently stands at £15,500. You're now going to go head-to-head on the best of 3 questions. For each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, and you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to get to the best of 3 will be playing for today's massive jackpot. Let's play Pointless. Here is your first question. Good luck, both pairs. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many countries ending in L as they could. Countries ending in L. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any country of the world whose English name ends in an L. As always, by country, we mean a sovereign state, which is a UN member in its own right. And see how many of those you can get at home.
OK, thanks very much, Richard. Orla and Bex, you played best throughout the show so far, so you get to go first. We're looking for countries that end in L.
All we can think of, it's probably the most well-known, is Brazil.
OK, Brazil, from Orla and Bex. Brazil. Scott and Kerry?
Yeah, we think we're going to go for Senegal.
Senegal. You're saying Orla and Bex, Brazil, Scott and Kerry, Senegal. Let's take them in the order they've been given. Brazil, is that right? And if it is, how many people said Brazil? That's a high scorer. Scott and Kerry have gone with Senegal. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Senegal. Well done. That's right. Yep. Senegal pips Brazil. Oh, down he goes, 16. So, after our first question, Scott and Kerry are up 1-0. Richard?
Yeah, well played, Scott and Kerry. It's the best answer on the board. For everybody trying to name them all at home, if you've got 5 on your list, you've got all of them. Let's take a look at them. Senegal, there was 16. Israel, 31. Nepal, 32. Portugal, 46. And you're quite right, Orla and Bex, Brazil was the top of the lot with 57.
Thanks very much, Richard. OK, here is your second question. Orla and Bex, you have to win this question to stay in the game. £15,500 could be riding on it. OK, Here we go. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Scottish Premier League football clubs as they could. Scottish Premier League football clubs. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any of the 12 football teams in the Scottish Premier League in the 2010-2011 season.
OK, now then, Scott and Kerry, you go first this time. OK, oh dear, Kerry.
Well, we're going to try and stay away from the most obvious one, so we'll go with Motherwell.
Motherwell. OK, Motherwell. Orla and Bex, if you were thinking of Motherwell...
Sport.
It's gone.
We've got Dundee, Aberdeen.
Scottish towns, basically. Rangers. Glasgow Rangers.
Should we go for that?
I think it's going to be really obvious.
Is it called Glasgow Rangers?
Yeah.
Glasgow Rangers.
You're going to go for Rangers. OK, you have to win this question to stay in the game.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Scott and Kerry have gone for Motherwell. Orla and Bex are going for Rangers. Let's take them in the order they've been given. Kerry and Scott, if you win this question, you are straight through to the final. And we'll be playing for that £15,500 jackpot. Motherwell, is it right? And if it is, how many people said Motherwell? Right. '21. Orla and Bex are saying Rangers.
Yeah.
Let's find out if Rangers is right, and if it is, let's find out how many people said it. Rangers. It's right. Oh, dear. I'm afraid that is a high, high score, as you thought it would be. Which means, after 2 questions, Scott and Kerry are straight through to the final. Richard.
Yeah, very well played, Scott and Kerry. There were a number of answers that would have beaten Motherwell. Dundee United would have beaten Motherwell.
Really?
Dundee wouldn't have beaten Motherwell, but Dundee United would. But let's take a look at all the names on the list. St Johnstone, right down at the bottom on 6. Inverness, Caledonian Thistle on 10. They were the subject of the most famous newspaper sports headline of all time. Do you remember that?
Exactly, yes.
When they beat Celtic 3-1, it was a big shock. Do you remember what the headline was?
Super Cali go ballistic. Celtic are atrocious.
Exactly right.
Fantastic.
They're now in the Premier League. 10 points. Kilmarnock 11, Hamilton 13. There's Dundee United on 16. St Mirren on 18. Motherwell 21. Hearts 26. Hibernian 31. Aberdeen, which you also said, that would have scored you 40 points though. Then there's Rangers 74 and Celtic 77.
Thank you very much, Richard. So the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head is Orla and Bex. Bad luck. 2 very, very tough categories for you in the head-to-head.
Yes.
It's been a great show, actually. You've done very well all the way through. And yes, those countries ending in L.
Yeah.
You've thought of one, which
and
was
sports, probably
Yeah.
the 2 worst. Geography and sport.
Well, what a great shame to be saying goodbye to you. But the good news is we'll see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much. Great contestants. Thanks so much for playing.
Thank you.
But for Scott and Kerry, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £15,500. Wow, congratulations, Scott and Kerry. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at a record-breaking £15,500. The rules are very simple. To win that money, all you have to do is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people could think of. Now, we've had 3 pointless answers on the show today. You gave us one in the first round with Simon Rimmer.
Yep.
You only have to find one more now and you will go home with that money. First, though, you've got to choose a category, and you can choose from these 3 options. They are Hollywood legends, MPs, musical theatre. Hollywood legends, MPs, musical theatre. What do you think?
I think we can discount MPs.
I think we can definitely discount MPs. Hollywood Legends is quite a broad subject, so...
But then so is musical theatre. What if it's one we've not seen?
This is a good point.
Hollywood Legends?
Yes, let's go for Hollywood Legends.
You're going to go Hollywood Legends.
Yes.
You're quite good on your film.
Quite good.
I'm hoping.
What would be your favourite category within Hollywood Legends? What would be a brilliant...
I don't know. Films from the last 20 years, sort of contemporary films, rather than older films.
I see, OK. Well, good luck. Let's find out what that question is. Here we go. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Marlon Brando films as they could. Marlon Brando films. Richard?
Yeah, we're looking for any feature film made for cinema release for which Marlon Brando has received a acting credit. Voice performances also count, but we're not looking for TV films, documentaries or short films. So any feature film made for cinema release for which Marlon Brando has received an acting credit. Very best of luck.
Let me second that. Very best of luck. You now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £15,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. I'm going to remind you to speak up. Your 60 seconds start now.
OK, there's the obvious ones, which are On the Waterfront, Last Tango in Paris.
Do you speak up?
What about The Freshman?
Yeah, The Freshman's quite good. That's a very good answer. I'm thinking there's another one, The Island of Dr. Moreau, which not a lot of people are going to go for that one as well. So The Freshman.
Has he not done all the voice of the animations recently? Well, not recently,
well, recently he died quite.
But I mean, did he do them?
Not as far as I know. I don't know if you know any different.
I thought he was on the one with the car wash with a fish with Will Smith.
No, that was Martin Scorsese.
Oh, right, OK.
So, Island of Dr. Moreau, The Freshman, which is quite a good one. Yeah. I can't think of any others other than the obvious ones.
A reasonably obvious one, then.
A reasonably obvious one. OK, On the Waterfront.
OK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OK.
Yeah. You've got your 3. OK, we'll stop the clock. 8 seconds in hand. OK, you've arrived at 3 answers. We were looking for Marlon Brando films. Yeah. You just tell me what those 3 answers are, and we'll put them up on the board. OK, our 3 films are On the Waterfront. On the Waterfront.
The Island of Dr. Moreau.
The Island of Dr. Moreau.
And The Freshman.
And The Freshman. I think I can probably guess which order you'd like those to go in, but which of those do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
The Island of Dr. Moreau. OK,
we'll put The Island of Dr. Moreau up last. Which do you think is your least likely?
Would be On the Waterfront.
Yeah, OK, that's your least likely shot at a pointless answer. OK, so let's put those up on the board in that order. And here they are, On the Waterfront, The Freshman, and The Island of Dr. Moreau. There they are. We were looking for Marlon Brando films. This was your least confident answer. You only need to find one pointless answer to win our record-breaking jackpot of £15,500. Let's see how many people said On the Waterfront. This will be quite useful for us to gauge how much our 100 people know about Marlon Brando films. On the Waterfront, your least confident answer. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. On the Waterfront. There we are, it's right. It's right, which is the first thing it has to be. The second thing it has to be is pointless. Down it goes, into the 20s, into the teens, into single figures, 9 people. 9 people said On the Waterfront. Probably one of his most famous roles.
Yeah.
Only 9 people said it.
Makes me hopeful for the...
It makes me very hopeful. But unfortunately, it's not a pointless answer. We knew it wasn't going to be. You only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. We are now into the serious bit, though. Your 2 best answers. What would you do with £15,500?
Maybe replace my old car.
Replace your old car?
Yeah.
What happened to your old car?
It's rubbish.
It's rubbish. It's still going?
It's still going, yes, but barely.
Well, we are looking for Marlon Brando films. Let's hope nobody said your next answer, The Freshman. This has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £15,500. Let's see if it's right. And let's see if it is right, how many people said it. The Freshman. but it's right. It's right. Your first answer, on the waterfront, went down to 9. This is your second shot at our jackpot. Has to go down to pointless. Down to single figures. Oh! Oh.
I hate that person.
You were just one person away from a jackpot of £15,500 just then. It's a brilliant answer, the freshman. It was. Unfortunately, not a pointless answer, which means you only have one more chance to win today's jackpot. We are looking for a pointless answer. A pointless answer to Marlon Brando films. You said this was the answer you had the most faith in. This was the one you were most confident would be pointless. It has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot. £15,500. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said The Island of Dr. Moreau. Very, very, very best of luck. Scott and Kerry. It's right. There's £15,500 riding on this, our biggest ever jackpot. Can you win it? Down into single figures. Down it goes. Yes! Come here. Brilliant answer. Well done. Whoa. Wowee. Congratulations. You managed to find that all-important answer, which means you go home with our record-breaking jackpot of £15,500. Very, very well done. Well, Richard.
Yeah, how about that? Well done, guys. Well, Scott, you said you knew about films, and yes. You were not kidding, were you? From 1996, The Island of Dr. Moreau were a very troubled production for lots of reasons, and Marlon Brando actually won the Golden Raspberry for Worst Supporting Actor for his role in that film. Let's take a look at some of the other pointless answers. I know you don't care, but I suspect a lot of people at home would have got some of these. A Dry White Season was pointless. Bedtime Story. Pointless. Christopher Columbus, where he played Torquemada, and that got paid $5 million for a cameo appearance, and that was pointless. Guys and Dolls, where he played Sky Masterson, it's a pointless answer. The Brave, pointless answer. The Chase, also pointless answer, a western he made with Robert Redford. There's a few more. The Countess from Hong Kong. There's The Island of Dr. Moreau, your new favourite film. And Brando's final ever film, The Score. Also a pointless answer. Very, very well done, guys. You've been brilliant throughout, and it's wonderful. Fantastic.
Very worthy win. Well, thanks once again to our winning players, Scott and Kerry, who go away with today's record-breaking jackpot of £15,500. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.